Hey guys, Shecky here with another knife review. This time we'll be reviewing the Benchmade 710. Excellent knife. To begin with, let's talk about purpose. This is a larger knife, so I see this kind of at the high end of an EDC, more along the lines of a tactical folder. Not really bad at being an EDC, but I think primarily it falls in the realm of tactical folder with some definite EDC utility. So let's talk about size a little bit. Blade length, and this is directly from the website. Blade length on this is 3.9 inches. Blade thickness is 0.115. Overall length is 8.8 inches, big knife, and the closed length is 4.9 inches. So as you can tell, it is a larger folder. Obviously there are much larger ones, I'm not saying that at all. I think actually though, this is one of the largest, if not the largest, Axis lock folders. So that's something to keep in mind, and that was really part of the reason I really wanted this knife. I got this guy off of Craigslist, so I got a really good deal on it. You know, we'll talk about price in a little bit, but that's not really a good comparison. Weight on this guy is 4.5 ounces. So I carrying it and holding it, I'd say it doesn't feel like it. It does not at all feel like, you know, a knife above 4 ounces. And even still, it's pretty amazing that with everything they put into this knife, size and strength wise, it's still a relatively light knife. Blade material, I can give you a little close up here. You can see there, D2 is the steel of choice. Give you a little perusal of the blade. My understanding is D2 is a hard steel, wears very well, sharp, takes a really nice sharp edge. However, it can be brittle, you know, depending on how it's handled in heat treatment and such. But that is certainly a common data point that I've heard from several people, not just Nut and Fancy, but several people. Blade shape, you can see it's basically a modified clip, but it does, if you notice here, have a bit of a recurve, which tends to give a little bit better belly. Overall though, it's really awesome looking. I love the way this dude looks. Handle material, we got texture G10 here. If you look here, pretty slick, not a real grippy G10. Definitely feels like it's stamped rather than cut or grooved. You have nested steel liners. You can see in there they are nicely skeletonized. See if I can get a little more light in there. Nicely skeletonized, probably lending itself to that svelte, 4.5 ounces for a 4-inch blade with full steel liners. Handle ergonomics, very good. I have what I consider medium hands, and if you look there, there's a lot of real estate there just holding it normally. Feels good. Everything's nice and round. Have a little bit of jimping here. See if we can get that to focus. A little bit of jimping. Does a reasonable job. Typically rounded jimping, as is the custom for Benchmade, but with the ramps on the top and bottom portion of the handles, really locks in well. So even though even though the handle is slick and the jimping is somewhat rounded, you still get a very good lock in on that blade. Clip. For the most part, this is a good thing. The clip is reasonably strong, just at the right tension, I believe. Well shaped, makes it easy to get on and off the pocket. The one drawback, as you can see, is most Benchmade clips tend to wear in a very ugly fashion. It's almost like somebody at Benchmade just takes them out back and sprays them with Krylon paint. I mean, it's just nasty. So probably I'll end up polishing this one. But everything else about it is excellent. Deployment action, as with most Axis locks, just very fast. I like it a lot. Just my favorite overall locking mechanism because of the way it works. And you can actually, let's see if I can zoom out a little bit. You can actually use the Axis to deploy and get the blade back in. So just an all-around nice deployment action. Lockup, as I said, this is the patented Axis lock. And I can't say enough good things about it. Very solid, and just really a great locking device. Creates just absolutely solid lockup on all of my Axis locks that I've ever seen or handled or owned. Overall fit and finish. I want to do a quick comparison here. I've got my, for size primarily, I've got my 940 here. Try and get those as close as I can. Handle. As you can see, there's a good bit larger, both in the blade as well as the handle. There's a good bit of size increase on that 710. And however, you know, what you do notice here is with the 940 you get a lot of aesthetics that you don't really, you get that purple, cool purple backspacer. You get the green, beautiful green scales. On here you just kind of have black, and you have a black, what I'm guessing is probably an FRN backspacer. That being said though, I kind of like the message this knife sends. I love this knife. This is my favorite EDC knife. But the message that this sends is kind of, I'm here to do a job. I'm here to defend your life. I'm here to do basic EDC stuff. So I don't grade this down because it doesn't have green and, you know, purple and all this other stuff. I like the looks. It's simple, and it speaks volumes for what it's trying to say. So overall, this is an absolute awesome knife. I love this knife. I can't recommend it highly enough. I don't remember talking about price, so I'm going to cover that real quick. Benchmade says $169, I think. I've seen this for around $125 online. Normally, if you see that the suggested retail and the actual retail are that close, you're talking about a knife that's in high demand. And that's the case here. You have a knife that's really well-liked, well-received from the knife community, and for a lot of good reasons. I mean, it's a very cool knife. And so I'd highly recommend it if you have an opportunity to get it at a good price like I did. Again, even more so, more strenuously, I'd recommend it. If you have any questions, though, feel free to leave me a comment or a question in the comments, or if you have any comments at all, feel free to leave them. And as usual, you guys have fun out there.